Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a review on the brand new Makeup Revolution Reboot foundation. Now, I actually got this sent to me from Influenster, and I've been doing Influenster for about 4 years now. I started in 2016. So I'm really excited about this one. I want to go ahead, do the application, do the demo, and then talk a little bit more about the product. Now, a little bit more about my skin. I am a normal skin type. To prep my face for the foundation, I'm also going to be using the Touch and Soul No Poreblem primer. You guys know this is my all-time favorite. Whenever I'm testing out new foundations, I feel like this is my standard primer to let me know if a foundation is good or not. And then to blend in the foundation, I always use a sponge for my foundation reviews because I do not like the feeling of liquid foundations and brushes on my skin. It just doesn't feel right to me. So that's enough information from me. So let's go ahead and apply. Now, I did get the shade Y365 in the Reboot foundation. I only went along with the same shade that I was in their original HD foundation. I truthfully haven't used the HD foundation in literally years. I think I was still in high school when I was still using it. But this foundation claims to be a skin revitalizing foundation. It has a light to medium coverage and a satin finish, so I'm going to expect myself to look a little dewy at the end of the day. And it's going to reverse the 5 effects of fatigue. So it says it's going to brighten, smooth, firm, hydrate, and even out the skin, which I feel like is a lot of claims. And then it also claims to brighten, smooth, and firm your skin's appearance for 24 hours. Another thing is that it's also available in 24 shades, which I don't feel like is a lot. But considering it is a light to medium coverage foundation, maybe they're thinking, oh, maybe it's like a BB cream where it could fit multiple people because it is such a light coverage. I don't know if that was their intent, but that's literally my first thoughts going into the foundation. So this is one layer of foundation. I don't know how well my camera can pick up, but I know you guys could definitely see this pimple in my nostril. And I know you guys can definitely see my acne scars on my skin. The scars on this side aren't as visible as this side. If I am comparing this coverage to something else, I want to say it's a little less coverage than the Shop Mistake foundation, their Satin foundation. But I'm actually gonna go ahead and do another layer on my skin. Right now, what I'm noticing is that it's evening my complexion, but it's not enough to hide the scars or any redness. So let's see if this builds up well because it says light to medium. So hopefully the second layer will get us to that medium coverage. Y365, by the way, is just a hair too dark. You could barely tell. But good thing I'm wearing a turtleneck today because it is more so like my spring summer shade. Right now I'm actually very pale. Right now I consider myself very translucent because I am usually not this pale. So it seems here that the medium coverage is the coverage that I'm very satisfied with. It does look very satiny right off the bat. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to apply some concealer under my eyes just to give myself some brightness. And then I'm only going to set my concealer. I'm not gonna set the foundation, just the concealer today. I'm gonna use some of this First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. I have the shade 2.5. And I am just going to apply that under the eyes, on the nose, and the chin. Strangely enough though, this Y365 shade is a little orange, like a peachy orange on my skin. It's kind of weird, but if it had a little bit more of like a yellow undertone, which I feel like it should because it's a Y, then I feel like it would match me a little bit better. Just gonna use some of my banana powder, and like I said, I'm just going to set the concealer in place. So that's just gonna be right under the eyes. I'm not gonna drag it down. I know I took the concealer pretty far down, but just to be fair, we're just gonna do right under the eye and then the tip of the chin, because I am working and I don't ever know if I'm ever gonna do that motion at work. It happens. So I'm just gonna set the tip of my chin just in case. It's currently 9:18 and I'm going to go ahead and finish up the makeup. I'm going to show you guys another check-in after I complete my full face, and then I'm going to do an end of the night check-in as well. But honestly, I really do like the medium coverage. I feel like it still looks like skin, even though the shade is just a tad too dark. I'm not mad at it. I feel like I could definitely grow into it. And I feel like especially during the spring months, I will actually start to get a lot of use out of this because it feels like nothing on the skin. Now, right off the bat, does it brighten the skin? I say I look glowy, so I guess essentially yes. Smooths? Yeah. My skin definitely looks smooth. I feel like right now, because I don't have a lot of texture, my skin just looks smoother. Does it firm? I don't know what that means, dude. So I don't know. Hydrates, I do look dewy, so yes, I feel like I do look hydrated, and it evens out the skin. Now, it doesn't fully cover my acne scar on my cheek. You could definitely see it, and it doesn't cover a lot of the redness that my nose pimple had as well. So it does a pretty good job for what it is for a light to medium coverage foundation, but it's not going to be miraculous and cover everything, you know what I mean? So I am back, it is 10 o'clock. I finished my full face of makeup and it is just looking pretty fresh and clean. I did feel like my face was a little tacky. So when I was applying bronzer, it wasn't as smooth as, you know, another foundation like the Pure Love Your Selfie. That one kind of self-sets. So by the time I go in with my bronzer, which is usually like the last step, then it's not that big of a deal to just go in and blend. But I felt like because it felt a little tacky, I was using a stippling motion. But other than that, I wasn't having any issues with the foundation whatsoever. My skin looks really good right now. I'm not creasing under the eyes as much. I'm not creasing in my smile lines as much. My forehead, she was okay. Like, nothing's really wrong with her. So I'm gonna go ahead and go along my day. I should have about maybe like a 10-hour day today, maybe, depending. So I will check back in at the end of the night, but I just wanted to show you guys where we're at. It's currently a little bit past 8 o'clock, so I've had this foundation on for well over 10 hours now, and I feel like I have a lot to say as far as the end of the day is concerned. Now, I usually work indoors, and to be quite honest, when I was working inside and I was looking at my face under just normal fluorescent lighting, my foundation looked a little bit more dull and not as glowy or as lifelike as it was when I first applied it. But now that I have these lights on me right now, I look the same. This type of dew isn't like wet. It's more of like a glow from within. Can we all agree on that? I feel like I mostly see it in the center portion of my face where it just looks more hydrated, glowy. So I wanted to actually go in and show you guys the close-up of my face. Now, the claims again was to brighten, smooth, firm, hydrate, and even out the skin. I don't know if it necessarily firms up the face. Now that I am here, I just feel like it evens out the skin tone. Yes, it does a great job with that. I feel like I do look brightened up because of the glow that it gives me. But I think that's a given with a lot of dewy or satin foundations. You just look brighter because of the finish. And I think because it doesn't settle into your fine lines, it gives off the appearance that your skin is smoother than it actually is. So let me get really, really close. Now, normally my smile lines would crease, but if you could see, it's only this area right here. And that's not even that bad. Oh my God, this pimple. Stop it. The last claim is the hydration. Now, because I have a very intensive morning routine that requires a lot of moisturization beforehand, I don't really see much hydration. I don't feel as much hydration in this foundation. Maybe if you're a dry skin type, maybe you'll feel it, but because I'm normal, I don't feel it being as hydrating, but I do love this finish. This really reminds me if Urban Decay Stay Naked and Shop Missy Satin Foundation had a baby. It's very dewy, skin-like, but also it covers just enough and it feels very lightweight on the skin. I, again, didn't powder my whole entire face, as you guys saw, and my skin looks really nice. I love it when my skin just has like a natural glow to it, because it just makes me feel like I look my age, you know what I mean? It doesn't make it look cakey, it doesn't make my skin look too overly greasy. It's kind of just perfect skin. Now, with that being said, I do feel like right now my skin is well behaved for the most part, and I feel like if you are someone with a lot of redness, or if you have a lot of acne, or if you just suffer from a lot of creasing in general, I don't know if this is going to be your cup of tea necessarily, because it's not going to cover a lot of the redness, that's for sure. You're going to need some concealer to cover that redness if you are using this foundation. Now, who do I think that this foundation is targeting? I think it's targeting people with kind of what I have going on, where I have a couple acne scars, I have like very slight dark circles, very little that needs to be covered, but I still want my skin to be evened out and to have a base for the other products that I want to lay on. So that's going to be my bronzer, blush, and highlight. I want to make sure that my skin looks nice and even prior to doing a full face of makeup. Now, if you are a longtime user of the HD foundation from Makeup Forever, you're probably wondering, well, what's the difference between the HD foundation and the Reboot foundation? I genuinely think, from my experience, it's mostly the coverage and it's also the creasing. Now, I felt like with the HD foundation, it was like a medium to full, depending on how much you're using. This one was light to medium. From reading the box here, another huge difference is that this one claims to be a 24-hour wear foundation, and it also claims to attack the 5 signs of fatigue. So that's what we mentioned earlier. And then it also helps to protect your skin from pollution, which the HD foundation doesn't do. However, a similarity between the two is that because it's Makeup Forever and because Makeup Forever is known for their stage makeup, it's going to look great in photos. And I think that is kind of their whole line, right? They want you to look good in photos, in videos. They want your skin to just look evened out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to post a photo here of the flash test, just so you guys could see if it has flashback. I should have noted this earlier in the morning, but I'm trying to find a price because I totally forgot about the price. I mean, that's important, right? And currently there is no price on the website, which is really weird. I mean, someone's selling it on eBay for $63, but their original HD foundation is $43, so I'm guessing around the $43, $45 range is where this is probably going to be priced at, because I feel like with Makeup Forever and a lot of the other foundations sold at Sephora, usually the foundations in a certain line is usually around the same prices anyway, so that's going to be my guess of judgment. But other than that, do I recommend this foundation? I do, I really do, but I only feel like I would recommend it to somebody who just has very slight redness, very slight dark under eyes, and just wants to simply even out their skin tone. Or if you have redness and you just want something lightweight, breathable, and that's just easy to wear, looks great in photos, then definitely this is the one. But I do feel like the whole 5 signs of fatigue thing, I think that's just a marketing gimmick, to be quite honest. But other than that, I feel like this is a pretty solid foundation, and I really didn't expect myself to like a light to medium coverage foundation, but my skin, it just looks really good right now. So I hope you guys all enjoy this review. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys learned something. If I forget any information, you guys know I will have it in the description box below. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.